Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and I hope you are having a wonderful evening. Today I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why the narcissist may play victim. You see, like when you're dealing with a narcissist, it's such a challenging experience, and you may never know what you are going to get, or you may never know the mask you'll have to deal with. And actually, one of the common behaviors they may engage in is playing victim, especially when things don't go their way, or especially when you've cornered them and they don't have an immediate reason to your allegations. And in fact, like according to Psych Central, a very great blog on mental health, it is not immediately clear if the narcissist really feels like a victim, or if they just pull that card when they want to manipulate you, or when they want to get what they want. In fact, according to some study they did in 2020, it showed that people who've been diagnosed with NPD, or narcissistic personality disorder, play the victim more than any other people, especially in social interactions, or especially in relationships. Like they display this victim mentality more than anyone else. So that's just a very great study. And narcissists generally have this difficult time being aware, or being self-aware of how their actions are harmful to others, because they don't see things from your perspective. They don't have the empathy to see things from your perspective. Like you don't really see from the same playing field. Of course, this is not to excuse their behaviors, or this is not to say that because they can't see it, you just have to excuse them. No, it's just important for you to understand that they may not see what you're seeing, so that you don't waste your time, or you don't expend most of your energy trying to explain simple facets of life or simple concepts of life to them, because they may not understand it. So that's why, instead of explaining to them, sometimes you may just focus on yourself and your boundaries, or focus on how you are feeling. They just want to see, it's more of like they want to see everything from their distorted worldview, so as to assert their dominance and control over you, so as to assert their superiority over you, as well as to feed their intense craving or intense desire for superiority and entitlement. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why the narcissist may play victim. And before I share these reasons, I want to tell you that not everyone who plays a victim is a narcissist, or not everyone not everyone is a narcissist, or not everyone who plays victim is a narcissist. I'll just be sharing some of the reasons from my own research, and of course, as always with these things, always use your best judgment. So the first reason why narcissists do play victim is they want to avoid being held accountable. You see, nothing in this life deflects responsibility more than playing the victim. And a narcissist will pull this card of being a victim when they see that you've cornered them, or when you've confronted them with facts, or when you've confronted them for their actions and behaviors. So what they'll do is they may blame outside circumstances, or they may blame something else for their actions and their behaviors, just to avoid taking responsibility, because the moment they blame something else, they cannot take full ownership of what they've done, or of some of their behaviors, because the moment someone takes ownership, they have to change, and to them, they don't want to change those behaviors. So by playing the victim, they can escape all the consequences and the criticism associated with wrongdoing, because if you take responsibility, you have to face the consequence, but they don't want to face the consequences. So it's just more of a great defense mechanism that helps them avoid taking responsibility for their lives, and instead point out that everyone is out there to get them, point out that they are the victims and other people are the bad people, or other people have bad intentions. So because of their low self-worth and sense of superiority, they would not really like want to be seen as being wrong. No, they'd rather deflect it and play victim. The second reason why they may play victim is when they want to regain their control over you, or when they want to manipulate you. So they may pull this victim card when they feel that they are losing grip, or they are losing control of an instant, or control of you, let's say during your interactions or during that relationship. So because like when someone plays victim for something you've said, or for something you've done, or for something you've not done, of course you'll tend to back off because you don't want to hurt them. You just feel like, hey, this person is crying because I did this, so let me just stop doing this. So by portraying that you are treating them unfairly, they elicit sympathy, they trigger your sympathetic center, and you may even feel so guilty for your actions. Now imagine, like, let's say your parents, you tell your parents that you're not doing this, and then one of your parents cry. Of course you'll feel guilty and you'll end up doing what they want. That's just some of the instance of playing victim. So the emotional responses you get after someone pulls that card of playing a victim will push you to do something you don't want to do. And eliciting sympathy works really well when someone wants you to lower your boundaries, because you of course you don't want to make them feel bad, or you don't want to feel guilty for your actions. So of course you'll just let them do as they wish. And if you fall for this, they literally like they take the higher ground, and in at times they'll be viewed as the hero, while you'll be viewed as the villain by those around you. Because imagine how people view someone who's playing a victim, and then you now the perpetrator. Of course they'll be on the higher ground. The third reason is attention. Playing victim and eliciting sympathy from others is of course attention grabbing. And something about a narcissist is they thrive in an environment where they are constantly validated, constantly admired, constantly given attention. So by playing the victim, they can of course get help from others. Others of course might see them, and this reinforces those feelings of self-importance they have. And they may even use these victim card to easily slide into other relationships, of course, because those on the receiving end will welcome them, or those new lovers will welcome them because of sympathy. Like they are sympathizing with them. It's because they may portray you as a monster for what you did to them, or for treating them harshly. And people who may not be aware of their lies and their deception will listen to them and offer them all the support they need. They'll offer them all the assistance they need, neglecting the real victim. The fourth reason is low empathy. A narcissist may also play the victim because they lack the ability to see things from your perspective, or see things from your empathetic perspective. So they simply cannot understand how you feel or where you're coming from. This is because they lack empathy. So when you voice your opinions, or when you voice your concerns over something, like over the relationship or over something they've done, they might not see it as you see it. They might not see the hurtfulness of their behaviors. They might not see that their behaviors are harmful, because of their distorted view of reality, or because of their distorted worldview. And in this case now, they may view themselves as kind of genuine victims, because you're just telling them something they did and they don't see the wrongness in that action. It's more like complaining to someone who has not done anything wrong. Hope it makes sense. Like you're complaining to someone who has not done anything wrong, because they cannot see it from their eyes. So their low empathy, or lack of it, may also lead to playing victim as a way to get their needs met, without really seeing how hurtful playing the victim card can be. So they may just use this victim card just to get what they want without really caring if that victim card is hurtful to you, because they lack empathy. The last reason is they may genuinely see themselves as victim. So the narcissist may view themselves as genuine victims, or they may deeply believe that they are victims of their upbringing, they are victims of their conditioning, they are victims of their culture, or they are victims of their past. So they might have been subjected to extremely abusive ways, or they may have been extremely neglected when they were young, and they're still trapped in that realm or in that worldview. So when they are rejected, or when you or criticized, or when you don't do something for them, so because they have this fragile self which didn't fully developed, that fragile self is bruised or injured, and they may erupt with rage. So when this happens, they see themselves as victim because you've hurt them, you've hurt something inside them, so you've done some injustice, and because they are angry, feeling sad, it's like a form of injustice and mistreatment to them. This is because like they lack the inner resources to deal with criticism and rejection in a healthy way. Let's say for you, when you're rejected, of course you might do something else, but without blaming the other person. But for them now, they don't have those inner resources, so when they are triggered, they experience this feeling of narcissistic collapse. Like they might feel very depressed and very angry. So when you maintain your boundaries, or when you stick to your well-being, or when they don't get what they want, they may feel that the world is an unfair place to them, or they are being treated unfairly, even when the thing you're supposed to do to them is neglecting your own mental health. So that's how it is. Hope you found that informative. And in conclusion, like, a narcissist may play the victim for those 5 reasons, but whatever the reason is, this is not the trap. It's never a license for them or for anyone to do whatever they want to you or to others. It's also not a license for you to show compassion in quotes and let them exploit you, because you can say like, oh, it's because of their past I want to show compassion. No, it's not a license. The best way to protect yourself from someone who pulls this card is to, of course, always, and it works in any kind of scenario, is to always understand and uphold your boundaries. Even when you are dealing, even if you are dealing with a narcissistic mother, father, or just anyone, know your boundaries. Because when you know your boundaries, you will know how far you can go when it comes to helping other people, or when it comes to sympathizing with other people, without really overstretching yourself and hurting yourself in the process. Because something with life is, we tend to help others, but at the expense of ourselves. But when you know your boundaries, you will be in a better place. Yes, of course, those boundaries will be tested by everyone, but your job is to always stick to them, even if it ends up being hurtful, even if someone close to you is crying because you held your boundaries. No, that's the whole point. And if you feel or you think that you are being cold, because I know you will believe that for holding your boundaries, then that's just a limiting belief you have to work on. Like, feeling cold for treating yourself well is a limiting belief you have to deal with. This is because, like, when you lower those boundaries, you are simply being cold to yourself. Like, you are prioritizing being cold to yourself and not being cold to others. So it doesn't really make sense. In fact, like, the greatest compassion you can show to anyone around you is to always stick to your boundaries. Because the moment you treat yourself well, other people may learn from you, or other people may pick that from you. But the moment you lower them, you will not be becoming the best role model to those people around you. So don't be a doormat for other people. Instead, like, be the beacon of light by first being compassionate with yourself. You are your job, and other people, the narcissists and all those kind of people, are not your job. They are their own jobs as well. And it's not easy really taking care of ourselves, but that shouldn't stop you from working on those limiting beliefs, working on those subconscious beliefs you've picked up from other people, or you've picked up from your conditioning, or you've picked up from the environment, or from your past experiences. Hope you found that informative, guys. So even if someone plays a victim, no, just stick to your boundaries, because without you, then it doesn't even all add up. Hope you found that informative, guys. Until next time, feel free to share, comment, and subscribe.